How do we define support when it comes to our weight loss? This is Ronald Malcolm, and today what I'd like to talk about is more the psychology behind obesity and addiction. I think that helps just to get it out in the open and to, just kind of explore us and get comfortable talking about it, right? Because we can diet and exercise all we want. If we don't get at the root of our behavior, what causes us to do something, I think that we are setting ourselves up for long-term difficulties. When we lose weight, when we undertake any sort of change in our lives, we are, of course, more successful if we have people around us who can kind of keep us on track, kind of prop us up sometimes. And I think that's certainly the case with me. Anything that I've achieved in terms of weight loss, or really anything in my life, hasn't been a solo act. We like to tell ourselves that we are the authors of our destinies, and to a certain extent, obviously that's true. But the fact is that, we do best when we have help. It's a community effort. I call my family a lot and talk about, one day I was alone, and I had called a lot of people, trying to pick myself up, because I've noticed that, being alone a lot, are kind of like the equivalent of my idle hands being the devil's workshop. The thing is that ultimately I was alone with all the correspondence, but I had this kind of craving I had this void, right? I had something that needed to be filled. And that's what's gotten me in trouble in the past, right? I want to make sure everyone understands I don't have smooth sailing. I may not have violated the dietary part of my weight loss efforts. But, there are still certain internal conflicts in me which led me down the path of being so overweight in the first place. And so the thing is, I felt that void. I felt that familiar void when I was alone and just kind of, in one of those temporary funks that we fall into from time to time. And I felt that need. But the funny thing is that I didn't particularly feel the need for food. So I don't know if that's better or worse, right? Because am I looking for some other device to fill the void? In trading out food, am I risking finding a substitute that will get me to the same place? And so that's it. I don't have an answer for that. I just have this question. I try to do things now to fill that void that are different. I tend to throw myself into my work. And 9 times out of 10, that's great. That works. Doing research, writing things, whatever, that works great. But that 10th time, that 1 out of 10 time, nothing else just seemed to work, and not even food. So I don't know where that puts me exactly. Question for today: what sort of substitutes have you found for food to fill the void, to keep you from reverting back to your old behaviors in terms of eating? Answer down below. If you like what you've seen today, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this where we interact on a more personal basis, please hit subscribe. Thank you for your time, and you have a great day.